shit again. Straight up, I ain't got no conversation for you.
Nigga talk to the Cannon. One up, spin the track, man.
I was about to say, please don't fuck with it tomorrow.
Yo, y'all, welcome to episode 76 of the Goodfellas podcast. This is Jigga.
DJ, one up.
And today we have a special guest, know what I'm saying? On the behalf of the Goodfellas podcast, I have to do this intro right. My boy, Mr. Mike Young History.
Yo.
Yes.
Founder of Wave Sound FM. Talk to the people.
What's going on, people? It's Mike History here, founder of Wavy Sound, host and producer of Versus Mike History podcast and other things.
Yes,
sir.
One up, you took my intro. I hate you.
You hate me regardless.
What's good, bro? You know, finally here, man. Finally, after all this rescheduling.
Yeah. It was a long time coming.
Blanco told me to stop fucking rescheduling, so I had to, confirm a date.
That's all good. You feel me? It's about getting the time right.
Yeah, you feel me? Can't force energy.
Or,
At all. What's good, though, y'all? How was y'all week?
Adventurous.
You know what it is.
I feel that.
How was your shit?
It's been the same, slaving. I need to shake things up a little bit, man. It's been the same every week. I'm working.
Yeah.
You stuck in a routine.
Yeah, man. I need to shake things up a little bit.
My boy in
So next week I'm
you on the hamster wheel.
That's what let's talk about. Word.
Yes.
What you gonna do this week?
I don't know. We're gonna see.
Are you gonna try something?
We need some stories when you
Stay
come back.
tuned. The next episode of.
We need some stories, man.
Yeah, I know, man.
You need to enjoy life.
Get outside a little bit.
Yeah.
They gonna put his socks on first. Just do some dumb shit.
Please chill.
Just cause.
Mike, how was your week, Joe, bro?
it was chill. For me, I got a little 9 to 5 joint, so same thing, hamster wheel.
Yeah.
Just trying to schedule interviews and do the podcast in the meantime, balance that out. Because I was virtual for the pandemic. Now I'm back in person, so.
It's a little different, right?
Yeah, it take more energy out of me, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and I realize, since, even though do y'all consider us to still be in the penny right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
but okay.
What?
Yeah.
You one of them niggas.
Not as
Yeah,
really
but I'm
in
just,
the penny.
I don't think we on a lockdown, you
We're
feel
not
me?
on
lockdown.
We not on
Nah,
lockdown, you
Still
feel
a
me?
pandemic.
Lockdown
We're just
is-
not on lockdown.
Yeah, but I feel like, everybody's getting used to, going back to work,
Yeah.
kids going back to school, so, we got to find, we're not used to that schedule for the past 2 years, so I feel like everybody's trying to, figure shit out and,
Adjusting back to normal.
Word.
Not really normal because it's still mad regulations and shit like that. You
I
gotta
don't think
follow
life will
now.
ever be normal, though.
Right. That's a fact.
But yeah, Mike, what's good, man? So tell us about, Wavy Sound Life, FM.
So, Wavy Sound started. So Wavy Sound actually, before Wavy Sound, there was Wavy since '93. Shout out to my nigga Pac. We had a clothing line. For me, we had a nice little run, but it was a short run. And while we was doing that, I started a music component to it, and started reaching out to DJs and other musicians on the internet, and we started collaborating on DJ mixes and playlists and stuff like that.
Okay.
A couple years ago, I just seen how the market was moving towards podcasting and stuff like that. So I really shifted my interest towards that, and I started a couple podcasts. I produced a few podcasts, and then around late 2019, I started Versus Mike History, which was meant to be an interview series exclusively, but COVID happened, so ended up shifting to weekly topics and what's going on in the world because we was all inside.
Just to keep your listeners.
Yeah.
I feel you.
And then as months went on, people started reaching out for interviews again, and I started doing both. And then that's kind of where I'm at now. But instead of putting out regular episodes and interviews the same, I put a paywall on my website so that
I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah.
So
I seen that. Say if you record today, you'll put the episode out on a paywall tomorrow, and then when you release it to the public.
Yeah. So
You don't even put the whole episode out though. It'll be a
yeah.
Method to his madness.
So I do
Talk to it.
I do like little clips and shit when I put out a podcast episode, like on Twitter, TikTok, and all of that, just to, you know, promotion, marketing, and all that. But in terms of the paywall, I was just looking at like what was going on around, and you know, if you go on Patreon, like you can find somebody who read books on Patreon, somebody who cooking on Patreon,
Anything.
people, anything. Like,
For anybody that don't know what a paywall is, it is what it sounds like.
yeah, you paying to get access to exclusive content, which is what most people use Patreon for.
Why you smile when you said that, James?
No, I'm saying because you use Patreon for anything. You know, people put podcasts on OnlyFans.
Patreon, OnlyFans.
Yeah, all that shit. Yeah, people put podcasts on OnlyFans too.
Yeah, like when you go to like okay, somebody posts an article from like New York Times on the internet, and then you open it.
Yeah,
you can't read the whole shit.
You can't read the whole shit
like that.
I be hating that shit, bro.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Fuck.
But if you know, so the reason I didn't put my content on Patreon is just because it's like the main platform that everybody uses. So I was just thinking like, yo, if that shit go down, then
Yeah.
I don't got no money. Like, and you know, I run my web. I'm doing free promo shit, but I run my website through Squarespace, and they have a paywall option. So I use that shit. You know.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's where the money come in. You know, I just push that shit. I got a couple subscribers. That brings in a couple dollars a month.
You can't beat that. You know, something, man.
Yeah.
You know, telling you, shouts out to everybody. You know,
When did you make that decision? Or was it always like that?
Nah, I started that around March of this year.
Okay.
So the podcast started the end of 2019, and then I did the whole whole 2020, just free episodes, free interviews, and all of that. And then I think it was really because at the end of 2020, like I was doing episodes, just doing topics, and then people started.
Yo, you want some Secco?
Word, yeah.
Yeah, gotta say yourself.
You can't be on the Goodfellas podcast and not have no Secco.
Gotta break it up for the second now.
Yeah. Sorry. Hold that thought, man.
Yeah, let me pour it real quick.
You gotta let that settle.
You gotta let that marinate.
Yeah, he was cutting it a little bit closer.
You gotta let that marinate. But yeah.
Yeah, that was.
This boy need help,
You just
bro.
did a whole ad.
He really did, though. Sound effects and all. This nigga crazy.
Yeah, so, so the paywall shit started this year. Yeah, people started hitting me up at the end of 2020 to do interviews again, and I'm like, yo, we in a whole pandemic, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you asking me to leave my the first one I did after the pandemic started, I did it in my house, and I was like, I don't want to do that shit.
Yeah, recording in your crib.
You feel me?
Ladies
like,
and gentlemen.
and there's no disrespect to who I did it. Like, shout out to the homie. But you feel me? I just wasn't comfortable. You feel me? My mom's just I was still living at home with moms, but I hadn't moved out at the time, and I was like, I'm not doing that shit again. So I moved out, and I started like using college spaces, NJIT, Rutgers Law.
Mm-hmm.
They just got empty rooms, so I just, you feel me?
So you'll just bring all your equipment with you.
Yeah.
That's like
Make it happen.
Mix
Yeah.
the homie Maurice.
Oh yeah.
That too.
Yeah, I
Just laptop and the mixer
yeah, I also
and 2 mics.
Yeah. Shout out to Triple Double Juice Company in East Orange. They
definitely
reached
shouts
out
out
to
to them.
me to use their space for podcasting and interviews and stuff like that. I used
But yeah,
them.
that's tough. Like how you even got in contact with that? Like, 'cause I remember like when they opened up. Shouts out to them. Right there on Central Ave, across from Boston Market or whatever. But yeah, so like once I started seeing you recording there, I'm like, yo, that's dope as hell. Like that's very fire.
They reached out to me, to be honest. Like I won't say I wasn't aware of them, but like I didn't know that they wanted to use their space as a recording space. Like I was like, word. I thought they just was reaching out because they wanted to do like an interview type shit. But they was like, nah, we not even trying to do the pod. Like we just wanted you to use the space. It's like promotion type shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, that's love, because I mean, I never experienced that before. Like, and it's not that I'm not like anti-studio. Shout out to everybody here, but
Better not be.
nah, for me. But the way I set my shit up, I just could do it on my own. So that's Yes.
Right.
And then even with the name, like, you know, like how you say it was set up like an interview-based styles versus you.
Yeah,
It's,
versus, yeah.
It's basically versus you. So
Yeah,
whoever
yeah.
whoever
So-
you interviewing is...
Yeah, every episode was supposed to be like the name, and then like it was like the name versus Mike History. And then
Hold up, your last name really History?
No.
I was gonna say that's tough.
I had to ask him that too one time. I just hit him randomly like, "Yo, bro, what's this about?" Like,
I get that question a lot.
I was going
honestly,
to ask. I'm like, that would be a dope rapping name.
Right.
History?
Mike History.
It was like
that better not be a rapper drop.
you know like
Mike History.
That'd be a
New
dope
Ron
rap
Blanco.
name. No, Mike History would be a dope rap name.
but you know like MySpace and Facebook days, everybody
Yeah.
had their shit, so that's
It just
that's,
stuck.
that's where it came from. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of where I am. I like shit. It's crazy because as soon as I put up the paywall, the types of guests that I started
Yeah.
interviewing just started like
Start going up.
yeah, like
That's tough.
and I just been seeing a lot of progression in terms of the content that I've been producing and stuff like that. Like, and I'm really just excited. The reality though is that I'm ready to start other podcasts. Like I'm ready to help other people get this shit started. You know,
Mike History Studios.
that's the goal. you
Right,
know.
all under Wave Sound.
Yeah, you know.
It was very fire. But yeah, so like even like some of your recent interviews, how do you go about it? Like, okay, like I know you just had an interview with Zay. Mm-hmm. So like, was it like you reached out to him, or was like?
Yeah, so I mean, this was a very interesting year because I feel like Jersey particularly like did a lot of shit like
Together.
you know there was Juneteenth, there was Henny Day,
Yeah.
Brown Mill had something like every other
Yep,
weekend.
yep.
Thanks.
And it made it easy to know who to reach out to. The Lady Boys mixtape came out. Yeah, it just made it easy. So like,
This definitely was a lit summer though.
Yeah.
so
Niggas been busy.
when I think Zay was the last person who I interviewed. Like, I didn't put no paywall up, and I was just like, yo, I know that he's gonna be gearing up he's planning the Juneteenth shit, and I just reached out to him, and then it was like, all right, well, who else can I reach out to? Like, and I'm just thinking about other podcasters, you know, going on they shit, things like that, and really just, I mean, I really enjoy networking. You know what I mean? Like, I
needed.
don't put myself out there. Like, I don't consider myself like an influencer or anything like that. But I really do enjoy like being a dot connector, being like somebody who knows somebody else and could connect two people and things like that.
That's
and,
the
plugs.
and more so than creating a content to like promote myself is really for other people. Like, it's really so people could come on my shit and just talk about whatever they want to talk about. It's not really about
Yeah, it's
me.
needed. It
Yeah,
really
it's
is
not really
needed.
about me getting my shit off because I mean my shit is just it's producing, like making sure somebody else shit look right.
So do you enjoy like producing more or podding more?
Producing most definitely. Like I love the process of like sitting down and planning some shit to really to execute it. Like the whole, like, you know, there's pre-production, production, and post-production. Like my shit is pre-production. Like I really love sitting down, like storyboarding the video maybe, like, cause I've been in plenty fields. Like I've done graphic design, videography, photography, and then
So even through all those?
I mean, I was super hands-on because those are things that you gotta, like, you have to create. You have to be a creator, and you have to, but...
Maul's blowing. You blowing my shit.
wanna see all of this shit.
Nigga keep ducking. Nigga keep ducking.
Don't worry, I got you, bro.
Go ahead, bro.
Whenever I was, like, I got into, like, a different medium, like, I always created stuff for myself, but I had always had wavy sound. So, like, with graphic design, I was making playlists, so I would do the graphic design covers for the playlist. And then when I was doing videography, that was more so like I was interning around that time. Shout out to Secret Society. I was working with them. And photography, I still do that. I incorporate it with the, you know, if I'm doing merch or if I'm doing podcasting or anything, like just might do some freelance shit. And what I've come to do with podcasting is is use all of the knowledge that I gained over time in one space. And it's I won't say that I have a passion for podcasting because that's not the truth. But, you know,
You just like the planning.
yeah, I think I'm good at it, and I think that like I know how to incorporate people's talents and people's interests into the space. Like if somebody got a pizza spot or like a car wash spot or is anything,
Yeah.
I could.
You can find
I
something.
feel like I could make a podcast for both of them businesses. You see what I'm saying? Like
Find that happy medium.
yeah, and that's what it's about. You know what I mean? It's finding different ways to incorporate people's business in creative ways and shit. You know?
Yeah, that's fire.
Yeah.
Also, like I was about to ask that, like even like with the whole Studio 89 and Flex Films, you like more so the pre-production or actual shooting or the editing part more?
It depends. It depends on the type of work you're doing, who you're working with.
Word.
You feel me? That's a number one. You feel me?
Word.
Some people just want to do some
Whatever.
cheap shit. I hate that shit. That
Yeah, I
shit
heard a lot
ass.
of
Yeah,
a lot
bunch
of
of niggas
stories
in a
be saying like
room,
the
and you start.
the early stages. People make that shit a
Son.
fucking terrible time.
Yeah, bro. Like they want shooting in this room, but they want me to make it look like
Yeah.
we on BET world premiere video. Like, what the fuck I'm gonna do with this? Like, you feel me? But it depends though. Sometimes it'd be fun because I'm in the kind of in the beginning stage. I consider myself in the beginning stage. So if I have a video that I'm edit, I play with it. You feel me? So I kind of like that. Like, oh shit, I finally figure out how to do this. Oh, how to get this look, how to get the color right, the skin right, like shit like that. Like, so it depends. It depends on the shoot.
That's right. What about you? Like when it comes to like DJing an event, you like pre-planning or actual, or
It's a little different with DJing. Like well, for me at least, I just walk in, set up, and play music. But if it's something that somebody
okay, like for instance, like for Henny Day, you pre-planned that. You said like, yeah,
What, my set?
Yeah.
No.
No, I'm saying not your set, but you like, yeah, you know what songs you probably gonna throw into the mix.
Nah, with Henny Day, my plan was just book the right DJs so that everything goes accordingly. Honestly.
I feel like you like planning a lot though.
But I do. I am a planner. You know what I'm saying? I like organizing the ideas that, like putting something from your head into like actual physical form.
Right,
like
right.
that shit
That's
is
my shit.
I feel like
I like that shit too.
Yeah, I like that when it comes to like parties and shit like that, even with the pod. Because, Blanco like the whole pre-planning shit too. My thing when it comes to pre-planning, I'll just put out like, you remember like back in the day, they used to have you do like that, what's that, the web?
Circle.
The circles when you're doing like about to write a story or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll probably just put out like points, like different clouds in the air of like stuff I want to touch. And then I just jump into it. Like I don't really try to go point by point of how I'm gonna do it. I'll just make sure I touch those points in some way.
I
some
do
fashion.
it for the matter of it being like kind of like how an artist would put together a project. You could either put all 12 songs together however you want, or you can put like transitions in between. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that it tells a bigger story or a bigger picture. Or it feels bigger. So that's why I kind of like planning shit in that regard.
Yeah, true. I even like that shit like when me and Marcus was making the man, doing like the track list and shit like that. Like I like how we was talking.
When you was licking your patois on the skits, nigga. Listen to the song that you.
Right, nigga sound like a demon.
For me, just like like that whole like putting it in order because some songs mesh better coming after other songs and shit like that.
Yeah, that should be fire though. Like planning the shit, especially pre-planning, sometimes help because it make the shit easier. You feel me? So you go in there, you know what you're gonna do. Like you have an idea at least. Like even when I do a video, say it's like a regular promo video, like as I'm shooting it, I'm thinking what I'm gonna do with the edits. Like, you know what I mean? I might not do it, but I'm like, okay, this
That's
might look good in the
exactly how
beginning, or this might look good at the end. But I don't know because I'm not seeing the visuals. But at least I have an idea. So like when I go edit, it's much easier. Like
So do you like Mike? Do you look at that like when you have like an interview or like like plan how you want the episode to go, or you just let shit flow?
Okay, so for my regular episodes where I'm just doing topics and stuff, I have to plan those because if I don't, then they're gonna be too short or they just like I have to plan them. I gotta go through I got a specific list of publications that I go through because I use Black publications only.
Publications.
And then for my interviews are a lot easier because a lot of the people that I'm interviewing don't have like huge platforms.
Yeah.
So we could just start from the beginning. Like, yo, let's take it back. Like,
Right.
your influences, where you got to, the yada yada yada, and then like. I'm not doing like 2-hour episodes. I'm doing half hour, 45 minutes tops. So that don't take that long.
Yeah.
And I do it like that because I feel like, well, the people, like I said, the people who I have on, they don't have huge platforms. So if they choose to come back one day, we could either talk about your career since you came on the podcast last, or we could just kick it and talk shit. Like,
We're leaving room for more to talk about.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Got to plan stuff out.
I was just thinking though,
For real.
when y'all were going over y'all shit just now, like when you look at people like final product the content, you be like, yo, like let's say like a Henny Day recap.
Yeah.
And you be like, yo, everybody having so much fun in the video, the shit mad lit, the music perfect. But that process is not fun. You see what I'm saying? Like,
man,
like, and I know, and I'm gonna speak to this because I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, you could spend months, weeks promoting an event, and then the day of the event come and you're working. Like, you know what I'm saying?
People don't understand that though, bro. That's a good point.
Like, everybody walking around like, oh, what's up? Showing love, and you like, yeah, but.
Politics.
DJ,
shaking hand, kissing babies.
Bartender, bathroom,
Yeah,
it's
just,
the door.
oh my God, bro, that should be
it's a lot.
That should be a lot.
I be feeling sorry for artists though, because they spend so many hours. Even people that do like, now that I got into it, like doing videos and shit, like they spend hours and days to make up something that people watch for like 1 minute and just be like, oh, that was nice. Oh, that was bad. Like, I feel sorry for them, bro. Like
this era we living in is brutal in terms of music releases, because it's like, yo, like
shit's come and go.
Making an album is not hard. I mean, it's not easy. Like it take at least half a year. You feel me?
Yeah.
And then you release it to the streamer. And that take another month to put out. Right. And then it's out, and then niggas streaming for a week. And it's like, what's coming out next week?
Yeah, I saw this meme. This shit had me bugging. It was like, your nigga in there taking forever to struggling in the studio because he lying. You saw that shit? Yo, that shit had me bugging.
But it's facts though, man. You're like, song will drop Friday. I played the song probably 50 times. I know the words now. So by Tuesday, I'm listening to something new. Son. For me, but
what day was it?
Tuesday.
He said it two different ways. All right, cool. We're gonna cook this and put it out.
Yeah, it's only a handful of artists who like get past that weekend window for real.
Yeah, facts.
He is bad.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Definitely a fact.
We kind of did it to ourselves, though. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, also though, like it's not like we did it to ourselves, but we let it happen because these big companies like the Spotify's and Apple Music's, the algorithms is not designed for us to discover new music. Like,
oh no, you gotta go digging.
Like these apps are designed for us to listen to the same music over and over and over again.
So okay,
it's pros and it's cons to it because there's a lot of music. So like with me, I don't listen to a lot of people. Like I realized that like a few months ago, my man was playing mad different people. He told me to play music. I played like the same 5 artists. Like I don't listen to everybody. So it's kind of like you could channel what you want to listen to because there's a lot of bullshit out there. Like everybody like what they like. But for new music though, it is hard to like discover new motherfuckers though. That's the only bad thing about it. I don't like.
Yeah, I be searching for new music.
I don't even know how we coming across certain shit. Like sometimes, you know, like
Jokey Joe.
Only because we're on the pod. I'm gonna chill. But yeah, definitely. You know, like say you listen to an artist.
That's a late ass laugh.
And it comes from like, you know, the features.
Word.
So you feel me? Like you'll start tapping into features, and then I'm listening to your project. Let me see what you featured on, and start, you know. Then I end up in that rabbit hole. Now I'm listening to somebody from motherfucking Wisconsin. Like
that's why you cross marketing.
Yeah, I don't do that.
I used to though, but that's because the features used to be like strong as hell back when I used to do that shit. Like I remember I tapped into Kendrick off a feature. He was wilding on the feature. Like,
On which feature? Was it
on that.
That's how I got tapped into Cole.
What's it, the intro? He was on one of the game. I was on the intro. He was just spazzing on that shit. I'm like, who is this nigga?
No funny shit. I be using IG too. Like somebody put out some shit that they freestyling. I'll go click on this shit and I'll go listen.
Yeah, I be listening.
But I give them a very short window. I ain't gonna hold you. You gotta hit me with like 2 songs. If not, I'm not listening to it. Because that freestyle could have been hard. You feel me?
Funny, even like when people be posting their songs, I fuck around just tap into it. That.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I'm listening to this song right now. I'll just go listen to it. Like, why you listening to it?
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. Twitter.
Oh, people like posting in their story.
Yeah.
My fault, bro.
No, go ahead. I was gonna say that Twitter will catch me. Like I'll be scrolling there, and it'd be some. Oh, have you heard of this person up and coming?
I'm like, oh shit.
All right, fuck it.
Right.
And it gets new spins.
Yeah, facts.
We need something like Two Dope Boys or No Right, something like that can put people on to like the underground scene like that again. something like I don't even not Two Dope
There's
Boys.
just so much music now.
Like a versus Mike history. It's like,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Nah, I was gonna say the blog era. The blog era was great, but you also had people, and I guess I don't know. I'm just throw a topic out there, like how y'all feel about it. It breed people like Karen Civil, you know. Yeah. Like people who like people who tell you that yo I'll connect you with this person give me this bread and then you feel me and I you know I never want to be a person like that, you feel me, like I want to keep it 100, like yo you could come on my platform but I ain't, you feel me, I don't got nothing for you past that.
We can work together though.
Yeah,
I feel like that's gonna be everywhere. You know what I'm saying, no matter what industry you in.
nah, for sure.
But you are right.
But
though.
I feel definitely like the music industry is not like how it used to be, especially like when it comes to like radio, like back then. I'm talking about like
Podcast is the new radio.
yeah, podcast is the new radio.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody putting their career on the line no more. Like
Yeah, for me like back then, I'm talking about like old like 105.1, High 97. You know like. Those interviews and stuff like that, a lot of these artists we never knew. Like, you know, they playing their new music. Now we had the same 10 songs. Yeah, like I was looking at it. I was looking.
It probably been like that, right? No?
Nah, I was listening to like I seen like a track list of Hot 97, maybe like in '93 or whatever. And like the 20 songs that they had was like all different genres, all different artists. And I'm like, yeah, that shit is not like this now. Like, you're not hearing Sir on the radio.
Nah, you're not. And it's crazy because he's popular.
Yeah.
But that's
he's not gonna be on the radio at all.
Yeah, the space is just different. Like I feel like now it's
like artists don't even go on like radio runs
because it's not necessary.
Yeah,
everything is on your phone.
Right.
You don't have to go like before. If I wanted to see a video, I had to watch the fucking TV to wait for my favorite artist video. I'm listening to the radio, waiting for my shit to come on.
Right,
you feel me? Now I can go on YouTube.
And look it up, right?
And if I want to hear my fucking tap into what my favorite artist is doing, I could just follow them on IG.
Right.
They don't really got to go to interviews and all that shit.
Because back then you never really knew your artist until they was on an interview.
Yeah.
Like now, I still go back and listen to old Jay-Z interviews, even though they deleted a lot of them though. Yeah. But you know, back those interviews, like those shits was really podcasts. Like, like what's the video of Jay-Z with what's the nigga from fucking Florida? Uncle Luke. Yeah. When the bitches was playing with the
that was wild, bro.
Yo, nigga.
That was a wild time.
Nigga Jay-Z was like, oh, nigga said, oh, they really.
So, that's what y'all doing?
You feel me? Like, you got to see like a different side of the artist and shit like that.
That'll get a nigga on today too.
Yeah, fact.
Doing some shit like that.
Yeah,
hey, if any,
they started OnlyFans. They be on tomorrow.
Hold on.
If anybody want to eat some pussy on the interview,
Goodfellas Uncut.
No. That Jigga uncut. Not Goodfellas.
It's all him.
I
think even though
it's gonna be a Goodfellas pod uncut loaded.
It's gonna be a James uncut. It's just gonna be you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Now niggas folded. Out niggas.
I'm not recording that. You crazy as hell.
But yeah, I think even though we in this space, we ain't been in this space for that long, so I think we still adapting, like to get like the whatever the new dope shit is to present artists or showing what cool shit they doing, to kind of lure them back into that space. Because artists like today, I don't want to do no interviews. I don't want to do this.
Facts.
Like, they don't feel the need for it no more. Like,
Right.
I mean, I feel like it's good and bad. Like, it's good because if that's not you, that's not you. Like, you feel me? Like, sometimes I be talking to like people that do music and shit, and we be talking. They be like, "Yeah, I have people tell me to do this." I'm like, "Yeah, bro, be you, bro. I don't believe in selling yourself or nothing. Like, if that's not you, you don't want to talk in interviews. Don't fucking talk in interviews. You feel me?
Word.
But
Look at
would
Takeoff.
it help you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Would it help you grow your audience? You can't just stay in the house. You got to do something to connect with people. You don't necessarily have to go do interviews. Nigga, go to the parties, go to the little kickbacks. You got to do something, my nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Do what you like, though. Like,
Word.
Yeah, because like Kendrick don't do no fucking interviews. I mean, I feel like
He did
some,
a
they don't
few
have
back
to do
then. They don't
interviews.
gotta-
Like the artists that like in that range don't have to do interviews at this point. Like Kendrick has done
he
plenty
done
of interviews when
J,
he had
J. Cole,
J.
all of them, yeah.
Yeah, they all did, but like they got to a point where they don't have to do interviews anymore. Which I don't
like
understand.
honestly speaking, I don't even feel like, you know, like we all know the biggest radio station right now, or radio show is The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
It don't even feel like it's a radio station. It's a podcast.
It's a podcast, yeah. It's a podcast.
It's a radio station.
That
There's
shit is
also a podcast. Wasn't they like nominated for something like
They
some
just-
podcast shit?
They
Yeah.
just put their radio shows on the podcast
Yeah.
platform.
Yeah.
You can just do that.
Pretty much, yeah.
So it's like them and what's the Ebro show?
Ebro shit.
Ebro, motherfucker.
Ebro in the morning.
Ebro in the morning.
Yeah.
Nigga
I
said
said
Ebro?
Ebro.
What the
Hero.
I said Ebro.
I know, I'm fucking with you.
Speaking different languages.
But
I don't
yeah,
know what
so
the
it's
fuck
like,
so.
and then those two is like,
Alright,
know,
so
like,
that's
that's
why
what tap in.
they still radio show, but it's only like four. It's those two. You got
Z100.
not even talking about that. Fucking Big Boy.
Yeah.
And
the big boy like not
Big
like
boy
how it
shit
used to
lit.
be.
Big
It's
boy.
not like how it
Listen to
used to
LA.
be though.
He be having good. Every,
He's still a big boy.
yeah, people be going. I be watching his interviews.
And LA Leakers, and that's the same radio
LA
station.
Leakers.
yeah, and LA Leakers. That's it.
They shit lit
106.
because they be having like niggas freestyling and shit like
Yeah,
that. So
LA
that's happening
yeah.
because of that.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
Nah, it's not. It's definitely not a lot no more. It's just crazy because it's like because really what it is like
It's probably like big radio stations,
yeah.
but they just not as big as like they used to be. Like I know it's definitely like a big ass radio station in Atlanta. They got to be because you know they have their own like little summer jam and Summerfest. And all
Well,
that dumb shit.
and also what happens is a lot of the times these smaller companies just get bought. Like
Yeah.
they just become a part of a
Turn
bigger
into
company.
something
Like, they
else.
some big company just buy out a smaller company because they got a bunch of talent and shit.
Right. And a lot
That's
of
what
artists be going on
happens.
podcasts more now. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Podcast is really the new radio. Like, you know what I'm saying?
because it's different.
Yeah. And people listen to it. You could talk about more range
and
of
it-
different
and
things
it's
and shit like that too.
unfiltered, too,
And it's
like,
unfiltered. Yeah.
I think that's why I like podcasts so much because it's like I don't want to deal with the whole
Major World Auto commercial out of nowhere.
Don't get it fucked up. A lot of podcasts be having hella ads. I
Yeah,
know.
definitely.
No, they do.
They get
That's
they
sponsorship.
get right to the good part.
It's crazy.
Shout out to this new underwear brand. That,
What's that shit be blowing my shit though? What's this shit called? Them Philly niggas.
Oh, yeah.
This
Man,
shit.
that was worth the game.
Gilly,
Yeah, bro, that shit be blowing me. I'm like, skip, motherfucker. I want to hear this shit.
Like New Amsterdam, nigga.
Right.
Yo, he say the same shit every week.
While we're talking about your story of you in prison, New Amsterdam vodka. And
He was like, you know,
Like, damn,
you like you can mix it with cranberry.
That's a $20. That's a $20 bottle of vodka.
that was the telly
They
vibes
know they
back
don't
in the
drink
day.
that shit. They know they
That
don't
was,
drink
that was,
that.
the, that was the
Come on,
telly
bro.
vibes back in the day.
Right.
New
Fuck, I'm just
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam.
Yeah, pineapple mango.
Yeah, that's it's funny too because that's something that I feel passionate about. Like I ain't about to stick no bullshit on my shit, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
nah.
And it's like, yo, I'm not saying that
Hey
you
man, they
can't.
paying that bang. They
Word.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I mean,
Pay the bills.
Look, I get it. Ads pay the bills, but like they not paying that well. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's like you could go into it where a platform is like, all right, we're giving you X amount of dollars for you to put out an ad, or you could wait and negotiate a deal where you asking for X amount and they got to meet you at that price because like you know 30 cents, 50 cents, 75 cents an ad.
Or like
And I
that fucking
think-
stream,
like that
bro,
fucking
we
Manscaped
bigger
ad.
Than, we bigger than that, bro.
Like that fucking Manscaped ad that access.
Yeah, that shit was fun. I was thinking about that. I ain't want to say it though.
And it's like if you want, and it's like yo, if you,
James.
and if you
I
gonna
ain't
get
say
it
the name,
off,
but
if you gonna get it off for the low, at least support some shit that you actually use
Yo,
or a
man.
brand that you actually know. Like,
yo, imagine if this whole interview is like, yeah, Mike. So,
How you feel about Manscaped?
have you ever mowed your lawn?
No, that shit be crazy on that podcast.
Yeah, that's
Talking
crazy.
about-
yeah.
Yeah, and they be talking about some like real shit, and then the old boy be like, "Yeah, and this helps your performance." I'm like, "Yo,"
Helps your performance.
So that should be having me bugging.
but I think that's the space that we're in now with podcasts, and we're like podcasts are like realizing they might not need the ads. Like there's other ways, you feel me? Or they can work themselves into position to negotiate some bread with something that's worth it.
So how your podcast journey been going?
It's been going well, you know. Like it's crazy because like I'm only at fucking with y'all. Y'all this is what 70.
No,
Right behind you.
Kinda.
We had the same shit. You feel me? Like, and it's like, yo, like I'm surprised because you doing it for so long. And you'd be like, one day I'm gonna be at, and it's like, yo, I'm still under 100 episodes. Like I feel like I've been recording for forever.
Right.
So
I wonder. I wonder what. I'm gonna wait till you get back to the booth. But I wonder like what episode number we would be on.
Probably like then like 2 something.
No, it'll be like 130.
I'm about to say 130 something.
Oh,
Word?
for real?
Because we deleted
Like you
50.
said, it feel longer, bro. Like I'm thinking
We
like
had to delete a chunk of episodes.
Yeah,
we
had to delete like a good 50.
damn.
More than 50.
Yeah. So it's like, damn. So
We
then
was about to hit 100 and then we reset.
Damn. I didn't even know that.
I thought we
yo.
was already at like a facts.
Oh yeah.
We was
So
at 90 something. If
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah.
Word.
damn.
What was the reason for that, if y'all don't mind me asking?
Redacted.
I mean, we talked about it, but
Yeah,
Redacted.
Rebrand.
It ain't my business.
Rebrand.
we had to rebrand for one of the fellas.
Word. Okay, word. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like
It's all good.
redacted is funny.
What Yan tweeted some shit. She said, "I got one more rebrand in me left."
Yeah. So I mean, like, it was needed. Damn. I
Y'all
don't
brought
even.
that pain back. I hated deleting them
Son,
episodes.
that shit hurt. Because I wasn't in the chat when niggas was talking about it. So the day it happened, I'm like, wait, what are we doing? I'm like, wait,
Nigga said, "Whoa!"
I was fighting tears.
I'm like, damn.
Fuck around, put that shit behind the paywall.
And it was funny because I wanted to post a clip. I don't want to bring up the topic why, but we was talking about
Why
other
not? We might
podcasts,
just
right?
had to put that behind the paywall. Put the others.
No.
Yeah, redacted.
But yeah, like I wanted to post a clip of one of the episodes, and then it hit me like, damn, I can't even get the clip no more. Like,
Well, they're still there.
we have access to it.
Yeah.
But, oh yeah, I instead of deleting them, I hit them.
Oh, I bet.
I got
Okay.
it.
Oh, good. Check it out.
I got them too.
But yeah. So I like
Niggas holding out.
one thing that like getting back to this like ad money, like how to make money off your podcast and shit. One thing that's important to me is just like, you know, being genuine and like
That's what you mean, like with your podcast journey, like being genuine.
Yeah. Well, and being genuine in terms of like, if I'm going to do ads, I want to do ads of products that I use or that shit like companies I believe in, that CEOs that I know, things like that. And like, yo, it's a lot of other ways to get money with your podcast. Like, you could do merch, you could do live shows, you could do paywall, like you see what I'm saying. Like, you don't really have to have ads. Like, you just got to get creative with it. Treat yourself like you're an artist. You know what I'm saying, like. Yeah. You an artist. You're creative. Right. So you see what I'm saying. If you put yourself in that fold, in that lane, then it starts to get clearer. The vision starts to get clearer for sure.
So you ever came to like, you know, feeling flat, like you flatlined with your podcast journey?
Always, man. First of all,
because you know, I know it's days you probably like I don't even feel like recording. And
yeah, like it's days where I don't feel like recording. Is weeks where nothing's really happening. That happened a lot over the pandemic, especially. And you know, it's just sometimes you're just not into it. You know, like podcasting. I'm being transparent. Podcasting is not a passion of mine. It's something that I feel that I'm I'm good at. You know what I'm saying? So if I feel like I'm good at something, I'm gonna keep doing that because if I'm good, I could become great.
Right.
But even in that, it's some days where I'm just like, nah, I'm cool. Like, but you look around and you see that like it's not a lot of people that's doing that much fire shit, and it's like, yo, I could be that nigga. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like,
Whole
you see
different
what I'm
type
saying?
of
Like,
content.
like it's like, and speaking back to like how Jersey been moving this year, it's like, yo, like I look around, bro. Our state, we got shit. You feel me? Like in this era, like in this area. Like if the people who popping and who doing shit right now, if they stay on the path that they stay on, us other people, you feel me? Like we good. Like just you feel me? Like all we gotta do is network, get support of the state, and like that's you see what I'm saying? It's not about like because everybody think that the goal is to get to be like a Drake, where everybody love you, but that's not the era we live in no more. Like you gotta find a niche audience. Like you gotta find
your crowd.
18 to 24, black, you feel me, millennial, like whatever. But that's just how it goes. And I'm not saying that you can't get to that level. I'm just saying that it's important to find a specific audience and try to grow from there rather than trying to start with everybody. Because you're not gonna please everybody.
And also you can't get discouraged because you remember everybody didn't fuck with Drake in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? He
So a lot of
became
people
that
that
nigga.
still don't,
Yeah.
which is very surprising.
But he became that nigga, so don't get discouraged.
I'm sure there's one nigga in Canada somewhere like, I remember when that nigga was Jimmy from the grass.
Right.
Fuck out of here.
I did that. No funny shit. 'Cause I remember when Drake had the interview on some like MTV Cribs type shit, and he was like, he had like his like notepad or his raps next to his bed. And I'm like, why the fuck is this nigga rapping? I don't want to fucking listen to this nigga.
Word.
And he dropped Comeback Season because I really ain't like Drake for real, honestly speaking, until like Take Care.
Oh,
Those
wow,
songs.
nah. I've
That's
been
your
fucking with
wild.
Drake from
No, I'm saying like
from
yeah, like
Ransom.
his music.
with the music.
I'm
From
saying
Ransom, when he
like
dropped Ransom
like those
with
songs
Wayne,
was hard.
and
but
what's the other shit?
I was too
Gonorrhea, all of that shit. Bro.
I was too heavy into Wayne, and I was listening to other artists on Young
Nigga,
Money.
like
what?
brand new.
No, I'm saying
Oh my
I'm saying
God,
like I
you
fuck with
spotted that
Drake,
shit.
but I'm like.
I know, that's a lot of people
yeah,
though,
like
but
he wasn't like
I didn't
like
know
one
him
of
from
my
the
favorite
grasses
artists
though.
type shit.
I didn't know him from the grasses. I ain't had cable. My shit didn't go that far. You feel me?
I can't blame nobody. That was a very
Had the black
expensive
box.
That was a very experimental era. Like niggas, auto-tune was introduced.
So far gone.
We get light-skinned
So
rappers
far
now.
gone. So far gone. I'm sorry.
Niggas
So
wearing
far
leather
gone.
pants and shit. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that era
It's
was
very
different.
Niggas is still
the
experimenting.
late
You see niggas
2000s,
in
early
dresses?
2010s was wild era. Like
It's wild right now. So gonna fit?
Niggas is wearing dresses and shit. All
Yeah,
types of
it's
shit.
very wild.
The tux with the shorts.
Still
I'll
very
probably
wild.
wear that. That fit was hard.
Who?
The tux with the fit with the shorts.
Tux and shorts.
Yeah,
That is
shit-
your brand.
That shit was dope.
that's your brand.
That's cool. I like it.
What's up with this nigga?
That is so on
I
brand.
feel
for you,
like
James.
it's giving us like a nice little brunch look.
Fuck out of here.
So,
That
you
shit
know, I
was
got to
bad.
interview. I got a ball. I got to see the family. You know what I'm saying? Hit a wedding.
Right. The fuck? I don't know what he want to do.
I don't know what I'm gonna put on my feet though. With some shorts.
James put on some forces.
Yeah, know it.
Nasty.
Now I'm doing that shit. Next brunch, I'm doing that. Next summer brunch, I'm doing that.
Better not.
I'm seriously doing it now.
With the ashy ankles, no lotion.
White tee, pastel forces, rocking out.
Okay.
You heard it here first.
Moving on.
You never know. The nigga might, because the nigga pulled up with the.
I pulled up to a party in a hazard vest.
Yo, bright as hell. Green.
Niggas
white
doing
tee.
it now, man. Shit's crazy.
Niggas did do that.
Yeah, right after.
For a short period of time.
Wait,
That
yo,
shit was
wait,
ass.
yo, it's about to be
Niggas still doing it? Niggas
Yeah,
not
man.
still doing that.
Wasn't a picture of fucking Takeoff just did it? No,
Oh,
Quavo.
Yeah, somebody had
That's
it.
terrible, son.
Man.
It's
You know about a little bit.
it's
straight.
about to be October. Don't y'all usually have a October event?
Yes,
Yeah, I
sir.
had one in the past, right?
Spooky season. Yeah.
That
I
is
mean,
under wraps.
Drop it.
We're not
We still in
allowed to
September.
talk about it.
I'm too tapped in. I'm too tapped in. My bad.
So
You
it's
know
good.
too much as it is. You can't leave.
My bad.
You dress up for Halloween and shit like that? You be doing that?
Nah, but I mean, I would. It's just that like I feel like every year around Halloween, like I just be like, I'm like, yo, for me, da da da, and then be like, No.
Well, we're gonna be in Atlanta for Halloween.
I feel
me?
like
and
if
got his second pro fight.
you know, hypothetically, spooky season I feel like it should be a theme to it to let people narrow down.
Have an ABC party.
Have a what?
ABC party.
What the fuck is that?
Anything but close.
Y'all want to be demons, right?
No, nobody said.
like-
Did we say anything about being a demon? What
Like niggas pull up.
Nah,
wrapped up
I
in
know why he
caution
said a
tape and
theme.
shit.
So he get blend in. Everybody wearing similar shit. Where's James?
Yeah, we say nothing for the first one, right?
Wait, nah. So I was out of state. I was out of
must be
state one
Batman.
year in college, and I was visiting this other college. It was for some alpha shit. And it was like, oh, ABC party. And it was like, ABC? It was like, isn't that anything but clothes?
Yeah.
That shit was African, Black, Caribbean.
What?
I was like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah,
we was
that's
mad.
funny as hell.
We thought we about to walk into some shit. It was not some shit.
I wouldn't want to go to that though. Like that's
It was
just kinda
creative.
weird.
It was a creative name, but I was like, damn.
No, I'm talking about the ABC, like nothing, anything but clothes.
Oh,
party.
yeah,
I wouldn't
for
want to
sure.
go. Like,
Why not?
I don't know.
Well, it's this hotel. I'm not gonna give no free promo for the hotel in Jamaica, but the hotel is it's one of those hotels. Anything goes at this hotel, and they have like different nights. This hotel is for to please your sexual endeavors that you want to experiment in.
Only in Jamaica.
And they have that
Right.
ABC thing, and motherfuckers just be anything.
Next be anything.
Anything.
You can be who you want to be.
Niggas be coming in there with all tape, just whatever. weed.
How many times you been to know about the different days?
What?
Nigga, James was there every night, motherfucker.
I guess what today is. Like, what's on the
Today,
menu?
Tuesday?
What's on the menu?
Tuesday?
Nigga wake up, I think I'm gonna go back down to the.
Nigga cashed out.
But I feel like, even like with us potting and shit like that, it be times niggas don't record.
Yeah.
Like,
Shit.
it's, fuck it. Like before we started, we was saying like how niggas just been in a whole rut and just doing it, but not being as creative as we are and shit like that. Sometimes you just gotta break through it. You just gotta keep going.
Yeah, the weird thing about podcasting that's like not like other professions is like, should I take a break or should I just keep going? Like, cause it's like I could be in a rut, but eventually I'm gonna get out of this shit. And
sometimes if you
have,
just stop.
I could have 6 episodes of that rut, or I could just take a break. And it's like, it really is. It comes down to like your productivity and really like
Right.
your production style. Because for me, I feel like it would be better for me. Like when I get tired, I'll be like, damn, yo, I really just should stop. And I'll be like, nah, because like I'm just talking about weekly topics. So I don't care. I'm not going to revisit these 6 episodes or these 5, whatever, however many episodes that I didn't feel like recording. And whoever listening, like,
Shout out to y'all.
for me, like,
Type shit. Yeah, I don't feel like stopping. It's just like it depends. Like if you're going through like some mental shit, definitely take a break.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you're going through some shit with family shit, take a break. But if you're just going through your emotions, don't stop. Because number one, if this what episode pop, niggas don't give a fuck what you did in the past. This is the one that made it on. This is the one that got whatever attention.
And I
You
feel
never
like
know.
some of the best content comes from those like rut episodes,
Ladies and
because you're
gentlemen.
trying to force through it. I mean, you could tell a forced episode, like you really know like a forced episode. Like we definitely had forced episodes of people up here, and even just us just talking about dumb shit. You feel me? But
Tired of looking at y'all.
as long as you just produce the content, like you
Right.
feel me?
yeah.
That's what I believe too. Word. But,
And it'd be like like the supporters, the people that listen to us. Like I'm telling you, like some people just be thinking like that shit don't mean nothing, but like looking and seeing the views or looking and seeing like
Word.
the analytics of certain shit be like, yo, like
niggas really tapped in.
you feel me? Like, and that shit really motivation. Like even like feedback. Like shouts out to Kay and shit for she gave me some feedback on like last week's episode and shit like that. Like that shit really be meaning shit for me.
Yeah, word up. Word up.
Yeah, I know as far as DJing goes, I know I work on that type of time too, because there be times I don't want to leave the house, which is like 80% of the time really, but you know, because people really feel like I'm the DJ that they need to be outside for, you know, that brings me outside too.
Yeah.
So
They want to hear the coins. So, Mike, you got like, what was one of your favorite episodes? I want to do like, what was the one, your favorite interview and favorite Dolly?
Damn, favorite Dolly, I don't know. Them shits just like kind of just fly by. Interviews though, you know what? I actually just did an interview with Showcase, and we spoke about
boy.
Yeah. We just had a real good conversation about like how like his upbringing, how he started DJing, and like how he got to the point of like Juneteenth, which was DJing for 18,000 people. Man, like it was just mad dope because it was like, yo, like I don't want to get a fucking interview away, but yeah, like he was like, you know, started at my cousin's crib, and then you know I just came back, went to school, started doing this shit online, and then like it just progression and progression and progression and progression. Like it's just like hearing people's story and then like not only hearing people's story, but getting people to relive those moments. That's very important for me because it's like, yo, a lot of people don't reflect on their journey. They just keep moving forward, and I'm definitely one of those people. Like I don't really.
People don't really sit down and smell their own flowers.
I ain't really.
I feel like sometimes you need to. Sometimes.
Yeah, like I don't go back over episodes to like listen to them. I go over to make sure like the shit is tight. Like you feel me? Like and that's pretty much it. I'm not really listening content wise, and like it's easy to just keep producing and not sit and take a second and you know really reflect on like your year in view and. Like how far you've come and what you've accomplished and all of those things, and you know taking some time out to really appreciate that, and you know take those moments in is important because you know a lot of people feel like they not getting to where they need to be, and it's not an easy road. Like some niggas, like you hear stories, people working for 8 years, you feel me, like
and anything happen, you feel me, like I look at it like you know. Even when it's bad, things will really get greater later, though. Yeah. You feel me? So you could just be sitting there and it's like, damn, shit not going the way it's supposed to go for me. And then you can't just sit down and beat yourself up type shit. You feel me? You just got to look at... I know sometimes you like people don't look for like that silver lining, but you just got to find happiness in something. Yeah. And just make that your motivation. You feel me?
Yeah. You kept saying like you don't... That's not your thing. How did you get started, though?
Because, I mean, okay, so even though I'm not like, I wouldn't say podcasting is my passion, I am a big fan of podcasts in general. Okay. So, like, I got started listening to Joe Budden shit. You feel me?
Yeah,
like,
I think that's why I started that, too.
That's most people, you feel me? Like, and it makes sense because hip-hop nigga.
Right. Most people started like that, Casanova, what's his name?
Taxstone.
Taxstone.
Yeah.
Taxstone. But what's the other nigga with the odd? Cactus Jack? Not Cactus Jack.
Combat Jack. Yeah. So, yeah, it was like, I was listening to Joe Budden podcast like 2017. And I was just listening to it for a few years. And then he was just talking about how he was about to sign like some big deal at Spotify. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this nigga is like, and respect to Joe, because you feel me, however, whatever. Yeah. Niggas, whatever, it don't even matter. But it's like, yo, like, this nigga's one-hit wonder, you feel me? He not some huge, big-name artist who has long-spanning career. You gotta
get that bag.
You know what's funny, though, about him saying a one-hit wonder? If you listen to the Joe Budden podcast,
they be on his ass.
He brings... that song I'll pump it up every fucking episode.
Cause they used to be on his ass about that shit.
Oh my god, every episode he bring that shit up.
And you know, you see that somebody who had not a long spanning major label career, even though he had a long independent career, have this large success in a space that isn't even widely recognized yet. And I was just like, nah, bro. It's paper here, like it's paper here, and I'm about if I see somebody else doing this shit right now, I'm about to try to help them get to where they need to be, and I'm gonna try to do this shit on my own myself, so I could be familiar with it, so I don't just like act like I know what I'm talking about and I don't. So like,
got a follow-up question when you're done.
I was real quick before versus Mike history. me and my homegirl Sess, we had a podcast called Everything Is Trash. And that shit lasted.
Shouts out to Sess.
that shit lasted 10 episodes. It was dope. You feel me? I feel like the format was dope. Like we had music and the chemistry was fire and everything. But it was like, it just was wrong time because like she had moved to New York, school, work, and all that shit. Like, so it didn't work out in that sense. But it was like it really opened my eyes. Like I recorded in the studio. She was living in New York at the time, so she had a plug.
Another bottle?
She.
Let's see if I'm gonna make it explode.
She
Oh, you on the street?
Blessings. Yeah, she had a plug at a studio at the time, so we had professional audio and everything like for a few episodes, and I was getting my equipment together on that side, so it was a real dope experience. Like that was my like first experience podcasting like myself.
All right, so like when you start off like producing, because you say you produce other people's episodes.
Yeah.
How do you usually do it? Say someone that come to you, do they pay you or do you do like some kind of partnership or like?
Nah. So the first when I first got into podcasting seriously, I was producing 3 podcasts. I was producing a podcast called Do Not Disturb with the homie Chris and Chin. Shout out to them. That's no longer running. Drew and Kyle, and now
Nice.
they had. I think it was just Drew and Kyle. Drew and Kyle had a podcast, the
Shouts out to Sharks.
Real Bullshit podcast. They had their shit. I reached out to them. Me, Drew and Kyle, and Niles, we go way back, like years. They had a podcast, and I was like, "Yo, I'm trying to help y'all build y'all shit up, yada yada yada." And so I was working with them for a while. And
Shout out to the Liddy Boys, man.
and yeah, they just realized that podcasting wasn't for them, so they shit ended. And then me and Seth had our shit. So I had 3 at one time, and producing, I was very new to the field, so I wasn't really hands on with this shit. But I was like, yo, if y'all allow me the opportunity to brand y'all podcasts and promote them with this other podcast and my shit together as a network, then I feel like we could get there.
Right.
You feel me? Now it didn't work out that way, but it still was a very dope experience because it was my first view of like, yo, this is how I could build out a network. This is how, you feel me, I can get people to work together, cross promotion, shit like that, ads. You feel me? Create not only just creating our own ads for other people's shows. Like I still want to do that. Like, cause it's like, yo, people go to these companies when it's like, yo, you could create your own ad,
Right?
and
Yeah.
sell that ad.
Literally.
Right. For
Like same way that they doing that for some bullshit product that costs $20 to make. Like you could do that for your own shit.
right.
So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, and it's where I'm at now is like, all right, I got Versus Mike History. Versus Mike History is going very well, and it's one singular project. So I need to make sure, even though I want to expand out and develop more shit, I don't want to do it at a pace where like
too much.
I ruin my
Right.
prize jewel. You feel me? Like yeah. Yeah, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
It's going well though, you know, like I just observe, learn, collaborate, like that's really what it is. Like a lot of my early time like creating and producing and things like that was just by myself. Like I'm not a and not to say that I don't like working with people. I just haven't worked with a lot of people on creative good looks. On creative projects, like
Okay.
Yeah, because I heard that like on when you was on the End of Regulation pod. Shouts out to them. That's a very good pod out. Shouts out to the guys. But yeah, man, I can see it though. Producing episodes and just planning it out. Cause like for me, I like podding. Like I love it. So like you know like the stereotypes of you're a podcaster.
yeah.
How you feel about the stereotypes of like, you know, men like, oh yeah.
Oh, he got a podcast type shit?
Yeah, he got a podcast, or he toxic. Because like I said, I know I use it for therapy, but not therapy. And it affects like I'm going through something. It's like,
Seriously?
this is how I talk to my niggas on a regular basis.
It's like, this is how I see it,
Man
right?
can't have no free space. Like
Right. Right. And it's like, this is how I see it,
Niggas
right?
really can't have no free space. Like niggas can't even ball in peace.
Right.
Sounds personal.
I got something being like, oh, you went to go ball. Oh,
I know
you got
this
bitches
girl-
being cheerleaders. Like,
This
what?
girl
What
got
you
mad.
talking about?
Hold on.
Cheerleaders.
Side, I'm about to go far left. right? But it's in the same thing. This girl get mad at her boyfriend for jerking off.
Stop.
Like, I swear it is. Like, you can't.
She
like,
said that nugget for me.
Like, come on, son. But go ahead, bro.
That's ridiculous.
But like, you know what I'm saying? Come on, we gotta be mad. Like, we need our free space, bro. But go ahead, though.
Don't let you get pressed because your nut count low. Yo.
Am I not good enough for you?
Am I not good enough for you?
I ain't gonna hold you. That happened to me before, but
They toxic. Word?
Yeah.
In that situation?
not that specific situation, but she was like, "Yo, your shit like."
Oh, you wagging?
Oh, yeah.
She was like, "Why you?"
Sheesh.
Always going crazy.
Had
a stressful week, babe.
She was like, "With the rest."
wasn't
like,
around.
Yeah, I've had that. I've had that.
So
So
I did
fucking
too.
where's the rest?
So I
She
got
was
for
like,
you.
Someone else.
Like, yo, that's all I got for you.
Nigga said someone else.
that's crazy. No, I got him. Whatever you're doing, I need you to stop.
It's like, no, I'm playing. I'm playing, bro. See? We need to have a little bit of fun.
Oh, we
So,
gonna be
nah,
serious,
good.
but we definitely gonna provide y'all with some comedy.
Nigga said
That's
whatever you
hilarious.
doing,
That was
I need you to
hilarious.
stop. That's for jokes.
Yeah, but in terms of what was we saying? In terms of I lost my train of thought.
Podcast stereotypes.
That's the podcast stereotypes.
Oh yeah, the podcast stereotype. I mean, it's like, yo, this is a new field, and it's like, all right, so podcaster get talk shit, like, but it's like the same thing for a rapper. It's like, okay, he a SoundCloud rapper, but yeah, nigga, you make a hit, you
Right,
get
yeah.
a Cuban,
Right,
Rolls,
right.
condo, they on your body.
Facts.
That's how I see it. That's how I see it. It's the same. Honestly, I look at the podcast field very extremely parallel to the music industry. Like, I almost take all of my advice from the music industry and apply it to the podcast industry. Just because I've seen a lot of people come from music and go to podcasting, like Joe, like Nori, etc., like Gilly. So I'm like, yo, like,
Even sports.
you feel exactly.
Even sports.
So I'm like, so I look at the music industry as kind of like the blueprint to how I would want to format my shit. And I'm like, yo, like, you know, just take work. You feel me? Like, same way you might have to record 100 songs like Wayne.
Yeah.
Wayne sit in the studio,
Let it be that one.
record. You get that one. Like,
Yeah, that's fire.
Ladies and gentlemen.
and it just leads to big success. Like, these big companies, they throwing bags.
Yeah.
Bags, bro. Like this one girl, I think it's a podcast called Call Her Daddy.
Yeah.
Three-
She got that bag.
With a girl.
3 years.
She got that bag.
$60 million.
She got
Excuse me?
She got
3
that bag.
years. $60
got that bag.
To talk into a
million
microphone?
To talk about whatever the fuck she want.
Everything.
Anything.
She got that bag.
That's crazy. Yo.
I think it was Spotify that gave it to her.
Yo.
Spotify.
Imagine waking up and knowing that you're getting 20 M's a year.
Are you crazy, my
That's a
nigga?
sick
Talk about
Right.
whatever you want on the mic. Like, bro, come on, son. Life is good.
Bro,
You know how much ass podcasting?
how much
that's fire, though.
ads?
Oh,
My fault. The second. Sorry.
So yeah,
Gotta get you a PR rep. motherfucker.
I'm looking down the road at the big bag, and
I feel like that's what it is when you like, when you get into pod and like at first, you know, like we was looking like that, you know, it's like, you know, fun out of leisure, but nah, that's where it's at. Especially like, you know, having like different branches of mini pods or mini series or mini segments
Yeah.
on us and shit like that. So
yeah, that's the thing. Like a lot of, and that's what I was saying before about the other businesses and stuff like that. Like people don't understand like how many different routes you can go with podcasts, and like it's people who create podcasts based off of TV shows. Like, oh, like, we're gonna just sit and come together and talk about. Like I listen to podcasts about like Marvel shows. I listen to them about like black shows like Power.
oh yeah, I
You feel me?
definitely, I
Like-
definitely watched that podcast on Power. And you know, what's a good? Which one was a good one? The Lovecraft Country shit.
Oh, I didn't even see that one.
That podcast was a good series. Like,
I might watch
mad,
that.
I'm mad it's no more
Yeah.
Lovecraft Country, but yeah,
Word.
that was a good. I fucked with that.
But yeah, like it's stuff like that, and it's like, and also, I look at it. I'm very strategic. Like my mindset is just very strategic. Like I just think about what podcasting could do for you. Like not necessarily how to build your career as a podcaster, but like, it's the same way with rappers. Like niggas know that you can't just be a rapper. Like you gotta rap and then do something else. Right. Same thing with podcasting. Like you podcast and then you do something else. Right. So I mean, I think that I'm developing a good platform to create the platform, the podcast, for you to go off and do your other shit. You feel me? Like, cause that's what I really want to do for people, especially in Jersey. Cause there's mad people doing dope shit. So it's like, yo, let's all get some money, yo.
See, I feel the same way like my guy. So I'm not toxic. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a good guy. No.
So that's why you like Potter? Cause you know, like a lot of
same reason.
A lot of listeners do love when you on. So it's like, so that's why you pod.
And imagine having an event, right? And it's like, yo, majority of the people here because of the podcast, not because of y'all events or because of
that would be crazy.
You feel me? Any artists who might be
that would be
associated
crazy,
with
bro.
What? That'd be Max.
For me, nigga, or imagine just having a podcast.
What he said? You right there?
A specific.
No. I was reading a text message.
No, I was saying, imagine like throwing an event specifically for the podcast, like y'all brand is more than podcasting. Like y'all started like there was a Goodfellas before the Goodfellas podcast. But imagine having a Goodfellas event, and it's like majority of the people that show up
from the pod.
They heard about it from the podcast.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like you have an event in Houston or you feel me, Chicago or some
Ladies
shit.
and gentlemen.
You know that.
And shouts out to listeners in San Fran.
You see what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah,
that shit is fire. That shit is fire to me. Like knowing I got listeners in
people
Texas
outside
and Delaware
and
and
shit.
shit.
Like yo, like y'all got the podcast. I got shit
That
going.
shit,
that shit
be dope. Still catch me off guard.
Right. Right, damn, you listen.
There are people that come up to me and be like, DJ, what up? And I'm like, yeah.
I remember I told a story, not this one thing, but the past one. I'm telling somebody start walking up to me. Mm-hmm. I'm like,
oh yeah. Some from Germany.
I noticed
that was wild.
He was like, yo, bro. He's like, yo, bro, I fuck with the podcast, man. I was listening to Germany, bro. It was the only thing that was really connecting me to Jersey when I was out there and shit. I fuck with it. I'm like, that's fire,
dope,
bro.
That's
fire.
That's dope.
I still want to know how he found it. It gotta be like he knew somebody and they got connected.
Yeah, there's pros and there's cons to it.
Yeah.
To podcasting.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
The cons is like the I just talk about the cons for a little bit. The cons is that it's too many niggas in this shit. Like,
No,
yeah,
like
it's real saturated.
and I guess that's how
that's
people.
what everything.
That's
Though.
how, and that's how rappers feel and shit.
But that's
too,
what
but it's
everything, like everything in life. To be a doctor, lawyer, all that shit is always that,
Yes,
and there's a lot of competition. Yeah,
And I don't even. But it's not even for me. It is competition, but it's like, damn, yo. Like, so my competition is niggas talking about $200 dates and shit. Like, I don't want to talk about that.
It's kind of like what you said earlier. Like, you gotta find your what you said, that like your demographics and shit like that. Yeah, you gotta tap in. Like people that's talking about like that, they not in your lane.
Nah.
You feel me? Just like, and you still could cross market. You could share shit, network and shit like that. Like you feel me? Like what we doing now. You have your own shit. We have our own shit. We might cross paths on similar topics as well, but at the same time, it's still room for both of us to grow off of each other network. You feel me? So I think it's dope.
What I will say is, even though it's real saturated right now, because obviously it's what's hot right now, right?
Right.
Yeah. And our short run as being a podcast, we done seen a lot of people rush to it and then
they fizzle out.
Right.
Like,
it's crazy seeing how many people start and then just stop. Like,
and I feel like it's the content when it's pros and cons. Like, you more so deal with like, I'll say like entertainment as like people and shit like that. So it's like some of the content that you're producing, you won't hear back from like somebody that you're dealing with. As far as niggas on the pod just talking about regular life situations and the girls start bugging.
Thank you, because I thought I was gonna be the one.
I knew you was bringing it there. I knew you was bringing it there.
That's the thing, bro. Like, if we're here talking, bro, like you might have brought up a topic. Yeah. You feel me? And I reflect because I was like, y'all about to bullshit me, bro. Like, y'all not about to say what it is. Like, come on, man, we're not doing that.
When he brought it up, when he said, "Oh, there's cons," I was like, "Yeah, this nigga."
I'm like, okay, that's an alley to somebody. Like, nah, that's a fact, bro. Cause that should be asked though. Like, I'm not talking about you. Like, I'm talking about other ones. Like, see, like that. It's a joke and make people laugh and get the people moving.
Well, give me a shout out. No.
Oh nah.
Get me a shout out.
First of all, you asking me to give you a shout out. You don't even listen to my shit because why would I give you a shout out? What the fuck? Like,
right.
I don't know which one of your episodes is my favorite that I listen to. I really like the shit with Kyle and Drew a lot. Cause them niggas, you know, they did it right after, like right beef. No, it was the day
After.
It was the day after it dropped. The tape dropped.
Oh yeah, it was the same day.
It was the same day. Yeah. That and I like this shit with Noah too, man. Noah got a good head on his shoulders, man. Yeah. Shouts out to bro. But I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie, it's funny. Like I come here, record podcasts every week. I do not listen to podcasts at all.
I listen to hella podcasts.
I do.
Yeah.
I
just like
Not
listening
as much.
As much as I used to, I had like a schedule, like okay, Monday I'm gonna listen to this.
Right.
You know, Tuesday I know fucking
Which
I'm not about to give the names out, but okay, get this dropping and like you feel me.
I used to do that when I was working. Now that I'm not working, I have been living in a box. I ain't gonna hold you.
Box.
Like I haven't been listening to music as much. Like
Nope.
you feel me? Like I've been living in a box.
See, it's the good and bad thing about a podcast promoting an episode, right? Is the fact that like you could maybe go on YouTube and like listen to like a clip.
Right.
So like I have podcasts who like they release like they're like long format, so they may have like a 20-minute clip.
Right.
And I'll go on YouTube and that clip, you feel me? Like in my head I'm listening to the podcast, but I mean for the actual episode, you're not listening to the whole episode. So I mean, me personally, I would rather somebody go and click my episode, listen to my whole shit front to back. But because I don't really release clips like that, and that's why I say it's pros and cons. Because it's like, yo, like I really don't like making clips for my podcast.
Yeah.
That shit is the worst, bro.
There go one up top.
Yeah, you feel me? Like it's like, yo,
It's
like
your ass.
I'm like, yo, like why would like I gotta seduce you like after the fact? You feel me? Like it's like damn.
I gave you an
That
hour and
shit-
some
that shit
change.
be
in
working
this
though.
shit.
It's like yo,
That's what
rappers
you gotta do.
Rappers
Yeah.
don't gotta do that shit. You feel me? Like
They do.
Here's a 30-second
got
snippet of the
singles.
song.
but it's like
You
you
gotta-
It's a
like
different way.
you could use a song in a commercial. That's the difference. You feel me? Like
With rappers, they got it. Sometimes they do like snippets of a song, like
oh,
Meek
yeah,
Mills.
right. Word,
Like you
word.
gotta
That's
feed
fair.
the people a
Meek
little
Mills,
bit.
yeah,
Bring them
Snippet
in.
King.
Snip King.
Yeah, they do it
Like, should
differently though.
I'll drop this
But
tonight.
only thing is, you
30
gotta
comments.
you gotta actually listen to the whole podcast to really like go through it. So that's the difference between being a rapper and like
yeah, I
doing
get it.
this.
It's not. It don't exactly translate. It's just annoying.
No. I feel that though. That's what it's annoying. Like you gotta look through the whole shit just to find 2 seconds for people to tap into the whole shit.
that
Like,
shit do be ass. Yeah, I
no.
do hate that.
I don't mind making the clips though because once again, from a consumer standpoint, I can't tell you how many times I've looked at something and made a decision in 30 seconds to support it. You know, so I was like, fuck it. It is what it is. It's gonna catch somebody.
A comment off one of the clips or whatever. The dope setup guy. He was like, "Yo, really good conversation, man. Dope setup." He subscribed and shit off the.
Oh,
clip.
where?
Yeah.
See,
I'm like, so that should be working.
shouts to you,
But
my
see,
good sir.
it be everything. Like even like how you brand your episodes, like your thumbnails and shit like that. Like it's really dope. Like how you do it. You feel me? Like sometimes you'll have like somebody black in entertainment or just anything. You feel me?
Yeah, I mean that's the really the crux of it. Like it's like, all right, so it's black content. The publications that I pull from is black. Like I got a list like Shadow and Act, Black Enterprise, Afrotech. You feel me? Like I get all my topics from black publications, and then like I just I talk about TV and movies, and then I give a couple shout outs. I got some clips in there, some audio in the beginning. Entertainment or whatever purpose. Then I got music at the end, like, and that's just it's mostly about just I wanted to create a product. So in the beginning, Versus Mike History is like, we sitting down. I wasn't even producing it. Like, shout out to the homie Jamar. Jamar was helping me produce the podcast when I first started. So we pull up and like I sit down and then my guests would get there and then we just record like. So over the pandemic, I had to. It went from interviews. It went from that, and then he had to step away from the podcast. So I was doing it on my own, and then the pandemic hit. So I had to change the topics altogether. And then at that point, it was like, well, I have to create a format for the podcast. Like I have to have a show. Like it has to be a beginning, a middle, and segments, yada 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 yada. And that's a lot of people talk about. Oh, like how do you record and da 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 da. It's seamless, and it's like like. You gotta edit it. Like you got to sit down and edit it.
Seamless transition.
That shit is
Yeah,
hilarious.
you either got to sit down and edit it and like right when you're doing it, or you got to finish and do it. And me, I'm in a moment nigga. Like I don't like
You don't want to go back.
I'm not a post production nigga at all.
Oh,
like
okay.
like I couldn't sit down and record a podcast and then go back and listen to that podcast 10,000 times and you feel me, edit it. Like I do it like I record it and then I'm chopping it up after the take, right after the take.
Oh, word?
And then I record the next shit and then I chop it up and then I put it together.
Okay. So you don't go live, or like you don't do like live?
Nah. I haven't done any lives. And
Yeah, I
haven't
just don't
done-
know how you could do it like that. Like, I just gotta go. Once I'm in go mode, I'm in go mode. When it comes Sunday, I'm in go
This
mode.
nigga's a weirdo.
When it comes Sunday, I'm in go mode.
It's because it's well 4 of y'all. Well, how many of y'all? Like however many of y'all. Like y'all can bounce off each other. Like I bounce off walls, nigga. Like
That's what I was saying. Like I know that shit kind of hard, bro.
yeah, that shit like like I gotta and I mean like I would like to have guests on my regular shit. You feel me? It's just that it just creates an extra step for me to do. Like I have to hit somebody up ahead of time. Like, yo, I want you to come on a podcast and do a segment with me. Cause I've done that. Like, had Ramsey come on and do segments. I had the homies. I had Seth come on and do segments. You feel me? Like, and like that's cool too because I don't like to just hear my own voice for the whole episode sometimes. But it just creates more work. So it's really about time and what I have time for and stuff like that, balancing the real life shit. And that's really what I'm trying to get out of my career. Like, and it's like, it just is what it is. It's just time. Like, it's like, yo, if I was doing this shit full time, then I could create a salary for myself. I could create a salary for somebody else. You feel me? Like,
yeah, your tweet made its way on my timeline when you said that. Like, you trying to do this shit full time.
yeah, man. Cause it's like, yo, niggas, all the shit we doing, all these events and these appearances and all of this shit is like, yo, like, niggas doing this shit in LA, niggas doing this shit in New York, like. We right across the water. Like we not far at all. The market is still here. People from New York live here, so it don't make no sense why we can't create an ecosystem for ourselves here. You feel me? Like niggas shouldn't have to leave. Like it's mad niggas from Jersey and LA and New York right now. Like like it's like what, bro? But it's mad talented people home. Right. So why y'all not? You feel me? And I'm not. I won't say I'm not anti-corporation because I am anti-corporation, but I'm not like anti-mainstream. You feel me? I get you may want to work for a major label or you want to work for a major company or some shit like that to build the experience, but you got to bring that back and help people who don't have that access because, yo, like it's not easy. It's not easy to get on, especially in the industry that we trying to break into. It's not easy. Like once you in, you in. But breaking into it, that shit is a job. Like,
that's why people like you is important. Like, you feel me? We need more people like that that's willing to like help motherfuckers. Yeah. I mean, put people in positions. Yeah. Word up.
So I know you just said, you know, like you had Sess on the pod. Mm-hmm. Do you tend to have like women guests on the pod? I'm doing a nice little segue for this question. This is the Goodfellas podcast, and I don't know which one of the guys put this in this topic list, but
I've had.
Answer carefully, bro.
Y'all funny.
Answer carefully, bro.
No. I'm good.
No names.
Yeah. No. That's not the question yet, but just
Okay, yeah.
That's a follow-up.
We getting
it's a two-part question.
We getting
It's a two-part.
Right. I've had women guests for sure. But my platform, like, men gravitate to it the most. Yeah. So it's like I mostly have men guests. I've had some women, and I have like, for me, I even have more women guests lined up for the fall and shit like that. Yeah. But like
women artists or like women like people that's like in the industry or
the industry, like not necessarily creatives. Like the creatives, they harder to get in contact with. Like it's like managers and emails and like yo,
I love that shit with women, man. Women really been doing y'all thing, man. I love that shit, dog.
Word. And I respect it. I respect it to the utmost extent. But I'm a DM nigga. Like, yo, what's up? Let's just make this happen. You feel me? Like, and most of the time that works. But sometimes it's like, I hit my DM. Like, I talk to my manager. All right, and it's like, yo, this shit not gonna happen for like another 6 months. Like,
fuck all that.
So I'll be once I'm talking to like a manager, once it's like, and it's no disrespect, but it's like once it's like email correspondence and all of that stuff, it's like, all right, this not about to happen no time soon. I'm gonna put you 4 or 5 people back. And I'm gonna just focus on these next 3 interviews because these just I'm gonna bust them out. Like,
Ladies and gentlemen.
because I just did Noah showcase, y'all like this podcast right now. Like in the past month, you feel me? Like that was all September. You feel me? That's all September. Like
that's a lot of good content.
You feel me? Like
make sure y'all go tune in, man.
And that's because of the flow of the easy flow of communication. That's not necessarily because of anything else. But get to the second part of it, because I'm curious. Curious to know where you're going.
Well, the question was, do you have women on the podcast? I feel like I know who asked this question.
Oh my God, I know who asked.
Yeah, I know who asked this. If so, do you fuck them?
That's funny. Nah.
If so,
I'm not trying to mix that for real. Not at all. Really. Like it's like this is a space. This is like if your podcast is for that, like horrible decisions, that's what that's for.
I like that.
That's not
that.
you feel me? Like, and even like even with y'all, like, you feel me? Like y'all might get into certain topics, but that's not what this is for. You feel me? I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not bringing that in here. You feel me? Like that changed the energy.
So you fuck them after.
Hey, y'all.
It's a question.
Nah.
That was a follow-up question. That wasn't for me. It was a third part, right?
I keep it super separate. Like
you gotta keep the business.
Yeah, like even on some creative shit. Even on some creative shit in
like it's
general.
definitely been episodes. Never mind.
Even on some creative shit in general, like I don't really like the talent. Like I like the behind the scenes shorty, the shorty who work at the main, who work at the front office, the shorty who answer the phones, the doing the emails. She work from home. She ain't even be in the office type shit. Niggas. I like that. Like I don't like the Jones who be on set. Like, oh, I took the picture with Gunna in the green room.
That would blow mine.
Yeah,
that would blow mine.
Cool. You feel me? Like,
yeah, give me the behind the scenes shorty.
even like you know,
now
like,
Gunna in your DMs.
Yeah.
And now you going to Atlanta for the after party.
Yeah, I had to unfollow some nigga. Cause like, never mind.
He's being a groupie.
No.
Niggas be groupies.
Niggas do be groupies.
Niggas do be groupies.
But that's very true, man. I'm with you on the whole thing.
Like it's like imagine you recording an episode and the girl is like, you recording an episode, women, it's gonna be some type of like
sexual tension.
Yeah, in a sense, because just the chemistry of producing the content. But I've seen episodes where like women is like really like shooting. I've seen episodes where like niggas is really shooting at these women, and women is just like, yeah, I'm here for my interview, and you doing a lot.
Yeah, it's nasty. It's nasty.
Yeah.
And that's not how it's supposed to be, because it's like if you want to bring somebody on that you already involved with, cool. You feel me? But bringing somebody on that you not involved with and you flirting with them, like
on camera,
that's not the wave at all. Like, sorry.
But once you start pushing up on you, then what you gonna do?
Oh, that's a different story. You feel me? Like that's
you gonna roll with it for the look, or you gonna be like,
I'm with all
the dumb shit. Like,
if it's on camera, I'm definitely.
I need a screenshot Blanco smiling that hard.
I'm with all that shit, nigga. You got the right man.
you rolling with it? What up? You rolling with it?
If it's on camera, I'm definitely rolling for the sake of content. But
see, he gets it.
You feel me? Like
it's always content, man.
He knows.
Yeah, you feel me? Like, I don't know.
It's only entertainment.
It's really
It really is.
Until it's not.
We are all entertainers.
And plus that shit can open doors for you. Like, for me.
Networking.
Yeah.
Networking. Let's just leave it at that.
I don't agree.
Something's being caught in the net and working.
Yo, let me know when the opening is. I just seen y'all have an event. Let me know when the next one.
Yeah, I'll pull up. You know
what I'm saying? I'm free next week.
I see you doing your thing.
Shining.
Remember those days.
Let me hold $1.
We all been there.
I hate this thing about
But
You guys keep looking at me every time. This is like,
This nigga be on it
right.
all the time.
I'm just listening, bro. That's
Yeah, sure. Listening with your eyes.
But yeah, bro, it was a pleasure having you on, man.
Real quick. So we've been talking about podcasting, this, that, and the third. Is there anything that you would do outside of producing or production? as a full time? You know what I'm saying? Like, what would Mike History be doing if he wasn't a podcast producer or a producer in general?
Damn, that's a good question. I think that like, and this sounds so generic, but it's like, yo, I kind of want to see what's up with Hollywood. Like, I love filmmaking first and foremost, but outside of just loving filmmaking in general, like music supervision in television and television and films, like getting certain people placed in songs, and I mean getting people's music placed in television and placed in movies, getting placed in TV commercials and shit like that. I would want to do. I don't know. I guess like. Yeah, that's it. You feel me? Like
that low-key sounds like another side of production.
Maybe, yeah. It's still production, like a tour,
connecting.
Yeah, like I would love to like oversee like a tour, like somebody's tour and shit, finding dates and venues and production designers and shit like that. Just you feel me? Like just managing somebody's overall project or career or some shit. Like I think I would be a good manager and you feel me? That type of lane.
Bro, I need a manager, bro.
Where the groundwork is important, son.
Word.
No funny shit.
Yeah.
Word up.
Yeah, I really believe in groundwork because it's not like there's no blueprint nowhere. You feel me? Like so, like a lot of the time is just spend the crib, YouTubing, Googling. You feel me? Going through how to go about a certain process
and just obtaining information as much as possible.
Yeah,
and just you know trying to use that in your content.
Yeah. I'm big on like. Yo, you gotta seek that knowledge. You gotta seek that information, like, cause it's like, yo, it's out there. You feel me? A lot of people think that the stuff that they need to get to where they're going is gonna cost them a lot of money, and really it just costs them time. Like, and if you set that dedication for yourself, you get really far. That's my little motivational minute for the podcast and shit.
Motivational Mike History.
Yeah.
Blanco, didn't you say something about time last week? Time is fiction.
Time is fiction? Time is an agreement.
I don't know. That was last week.
He said something about like time.
At work all week.
He said like time isn't true. Something like that.
Time is an illusion.
Isn't that
I hate
right?
when people say that.
I don't remember what I said.
It really is. Yo,
So
I probably said, I don't know if I said that specifically, but I probably said something revolving around time. I don't remember though.
I'm curious to know what y'all have in mind for this podcast, you know, because, like, this is a nice round table shit, you feel me? Niggas could since we here talking about it, like, what's y'all goals in terms of, like where y'all see this shit going?
World domination.
Word.
I was going to say some funny shit, too, when you beat me to it.
But, yeah. I mean, I'll go first. Like, a future for the pod, I want it to be, like, that must see content, like, you know, every week. Like I like being in people's weekly routine. So being at that level,
freak.
Yeah, being at the, you know, we don't have to per se be as big as like some of those other podcasts, but in that realm where it's like, okay, yeah,
big dog,
yeah, like okay, I know what I'm listening to. Something different, like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get this content, but in a way that I could just, it's easy for me to digest.
Word.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Since he gave you the cookie cutter answer, I know for me, I definitely want to turn this into, because we always talk about having a network of sorts, you know what I'm saying, like Goodfellas TV, this, that, and the third, but ultimately, like, I want to be more so into film, like you said. Like, I want to produce skits and shit. You know what I'm saying? Put, like, actual stories together for people to, like, consume and shit. You know what I'm saying? And this is, like, just scratching the surface, essentially.
Word.
So.
Yeah, that's fire.
As far as just the podcast, I wanna take it to, like, we're the biggest podcast that's not from, like, you know how a lot of top podcasts from an artist or been in an entertainment space.
Yeah.
I wanna
Out the mud.
Yeah.
Oh, like original. Yeah.
Yeah, like
we from nowhere.
Like, one of the first to say that.
Yeah, that's
we just smacked y'all out of nowhere.
niggas.
We're not connected here, there.
We just niggas from niggerdom.
Niggas that do this shit.
It's very important to be able to say
Niggas.
that. I believe in that. Yeah.
Just niggas.
Word.
But yeah, so
We do it.
Yeah.
I kind of like, well, with me, they really on there. I'm here and there, but I want to be like kind of like what you were saying a little bit. I want to be a platform where people from around the area come and tap into us. Like they will want to come on here to like break news. Like, yo, I got this album dropping. Like, you feel me? I want it to be that. Like, I want us to build ourselves up because we got a lot going on too. Like, even within the team. You know what I mean? Have the team come here and like drop a party, drop an album, drop a fight, whatever. Like, I want this to be the platform to do that.
Facts.
Breaking news by the fellas.
Right.
Goodfellas podcast exclusive. Anthony just knocked another nigga out.
Another exclusive. Halloween.
Yeah,
Atlanta
Halloween.
again.
Second fight was back in Atlanta.
Second fight, man. Back in the A.
About
Yeah,
20
Mike,
now.
it really was a pleasure having you on, bro.
Word, I
Definitely
appreciate
gotta
it.
give your flowers, bro. You know, you doing your thing dolo and producing the content that you do. You know,
Appreciate it.
how we got connected. You know, just regular shit, just niggas out. This is like a year and a half of us
Yes, sir.
cooking it up.
Thank you for stopping by, my brother. Appreciate you.
I appreciate y'all having me on, man.
Word.
Any
I'm
final
Where can we
words?
find you at? Tell the people where we can find you at.
You can find me on. You can find a podcast on Twitter at VS Mike History and on Instagram and the fan base at Versus Mike History. You can find me on Twitter at Mike History. You can find me on Instagram at Last Name History. And the podcast is versusmikehistory.com. If you want to subscribe, pay me $5 a month for some exclusive interviews, for some dope people, some creatives, some entrepreneurs.
That's $1 a week, guys.
Feel me?
It's $1 a week.
Go
That ain't
ahead and
nice.
sign up. versusmikehistory.com/members only. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's WavySound.fm. I got some cool mixes down there from some creative people. And we're gonna get back to that. We're gonna get back to that real soon.
Solid, man. Solid.
Love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Appreciate you for pulling up, my brother. Know what I'm saying? That's Small right there. That's James.
My name is Bob.
No, you're not. Blanco, Mr. History. Me.
History versus the fellas, man. Out tomorrow.
Okay, swimming in polo, sleeping in Jordans. I bought a cell phone and I don't even much call it. New imports make a